The most punishing race series on the planet comes to a head with one final test. Man and machine will battle their rivals and challenge the elements. One driver will emerge from the field and claim a place in the history books. This is the 52nd Baja 1000. Round the clock until the best earns the title of champion. And the battle starts now.
Welcome, friends, to Ensenada, Baja, California, just a couple hours south of San Diego in California, as we get set for the 52nd running of the BF Goodrich Tires Score Baja 1000, presented by 4-Wheel Parts. My name's Cameron Steele. I'll be piloting the number 16 trophy truck here, and my good friend Ricky Johnson, 7-time Supercross and Motocross AMA champion, will also be piloting the number 16 trophy truck with Team C, his team. We're here to talk about the granddaddy of all off-road races, and when we talk about the Baja 1000, we talk a lot about the drivers, we talk a lot about the equipment, but always it seems that Baja has the final word, and she got the first word this time.
Absolutely, Cam. All of us have been down here for multiple weeks, pre-running, setting all of our GPSs, all of our notes, and now everything is thrown out the window because the rain has been coming down hard for 2 to 3 days straight, and it's completely changed the course. So some guys like us have 4-wheel drive. It's going to be a little bit of a benefit, but it's an element of surprise that's going to grab every driver and co-driver.
So Score has announced that they will allow an extra day of pre-running, and they will also be allowing for some course repairs and possible deviations. So the race has been pushed back 24 hours, which hasn't happened in quite some time. In fact, in my memory, I can't remember that happening, but I have heard that it has happened a couple times. We'll try to get you the facts on that a little bit later. But Ricky, that's a big step to push it back a day.
I think it's a very strong decision by Roger Norman and the rest of the Score officials to push it back. They're going to get a lot of flack, but you can't win this situation. If you go run it, they're going to say, why didn't you push it back? And if you push it back, why didn't they say you run it?
For sure. The streets are flooded. The rivers are running that aren't normally running. It is absolutely a mess on parts of the race course. There are places that are underwater that were dry lake beds just 2 days ago. So we'll get more on the course a little bit later. Right now, let's talk about the stacked field, because the heroes of off-road racing are here. Some of the favorites are definitely towards the front of the pack. Qualifying was done at the 400, which was the last race here in Ensenada just a couple of months ago. The winner of that race, well, I mean, they've got a great shot starting all the way up front. Ryan Arciero in the Levi-sponsored Herbst Built Trophy truck, and he is partnered with Dan McMillan.
Well, Dan McMillan, unfortunately, his truck burned to the ground, so he didn't have a vehicle, and Dan is one of those guys that is very consistent, very, very fast, so they're a team to watch out for. But remember, normally you want to be the first one out there because of dust. Now there's no dust. Now there's all these rain ruts and mud and everything. You don't want to be that first guy. And now let's book in this. Let's go to the people starting all the way in the back with Nasser Alatea and Toby Price. They first were like, we don't want to start in the back. Jesse Jones has a brand new Mason all-wheel drive truck. Now they're saying, we love that spot. Let everybody knock the mud out of the way, and we can go. So now we have two completely different starting strategies.
One of the favorites definitely has to be Bryce Menzies and Andy McMillan, who have teamed up inside the Red Bull number 31. They come second off the line. They're also in a Mason four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive vehicle. They are a tough team, and many people are picking them as the favorite.
Well, absolutely. I mean, both of those guys, Bryce has been the king of the 500. He has yet to win the Baja 1000 yet, but he's been the king of the 500. He's led many 1000s, but has always been snake bitten. Andy McMillan, on the other hand, a driver that is so consistent, so meticulous, doesn't do short course, only focuses on Baja. So they're a very, very tough team to beat, and also they're in another Mason all-wheel drive trophy truck. So there's a couple of them out there, and they're definitely the team to beat.
Third off the line will be Pablo Vildosa, right behind Justin Lofton, and then the Ampudia brothers from just up the road in Rosarito, and then, of course, our team, another all-wheel drive truck. I feel like we have a great shot. We have a lot of great strategy, but the truth is there's so many great drivers. Let's talk about the race course, because this is one tough Baja 1000. Ricky, quickly, they always say it seems like this is the toughest Baja 1000 I've ever seen. Where does this rate for you?
I got to say it's right there, because it's so diverse. You know, a lot of times you go to San Felipe, it's just massive bumps. The 500 used to be kind of the smoother, run the beach and all that different stuff. But we start off, we go into Ojos Negros, then once we go go over into European. It's all rocky. There's a lot of dangerous spots. Then we run down the beach all the way down to San Quintin. Then we start to head back up the coast.
We go not only up the coast, but into the mountains, and that's going to head us towards the legendary Mike's Sky Rancho. Then we will head down Simpson's Ranch and then back down the Mike's Ranch Road to Highway number 3. That will take us to the Valle del Sol Road, or that area, or we'll head south to the Diablo Dry Lake, and that will send us down to the Matomi Wash. All of the San Felipe area around mile 500 will have some really tough whoop sections. And then, of course, we'll head north across Highway 3 once again as we head towards the Saldana, or Laguna Salada. The peak that we're going to be going over on the summit is absolutely stunning. It is very narrow and very treacherous. Head into K77, one of those legendary spots where we cross the Highway number 3 once again as we head towards Ojos Negros and re-pick up the same course that we came out on. We'll race in on and decide the winner here at the 52nd annual BF Goodrich Tires Score Baja 1000 presented by 4 Wheel Parts. Well, we've talked a lot about it. The races are ready to go. The weather has subsided, so it looks like we should get to the green flag and go racing here really soon. It is time for the 52nd annual BF Goodrich Tires Score Baja 1000 presented by 4 Wheel Parts.
Rain or shine, the race of all races must now continue. After a year-long battle with the elements of Baja, the preparation, the hard-fought battles on the course for a shot at glory, all of it has led to this moment and a chance for each racer to cement their name in history as they take on the Baja Peninsula once again in the 52nd BF Goodrich Score Baja 1000. Leading the charge for the four-wheeled racers off the line is Ryan Arciero in Trophy Truck 32.
So we're going to splash out water first, and our goal is to keep this Levi's 32 trophy truck up front. And we have the right set of tires with BF Goodrich. We have KC Highlights. We're going to take us through the night, and of course, some of the best shocks in the business with King Shocks, and work through the bumps really nice.
Starting behind him in second is Bryce Menzies, teaming up with Andy McMillan in Truck 31.
That's going to be a little tricky, treacherous, and you just got to be smart. I think my game plan is just to make sure I get Andy a good truck. Make no mistakes, because if you overdrive anything out here, you're going to make those mistakes. So looking forward to a clean race. I'm going to go to 370 and then hand it off to Andy and let him do all the legwork from there.
Tavo Vildosola in the third position starts the race for himself.
The rain really, I think, made the guys who are starting 15th and 20th a contender for this race. They're going to have a better track than we are starting third and off the line. They're going to have less water sitting on the track. So, at the end of the day, I think that we're going to have to just look back and at certain points during the race and make sure that those guys who started 20 and 30 minutes behind us, are still there and they're not inching closer. So that's the biggest, I think, difference now with the rain.
In the fourth position is Justin Lofton in Truck 41. Driving first for the Ampudia brothers is Alan Ampudia, starting off in the fifth position.
How can you not be excited to be racing a Baja 1000 in a trophy truck? No dust, muddy conditions. It's going to be like if you're a little kid going to Disneyland for the first time.
The rest of the lineup steps up, ready to take on the challenge of Baja. Score Desert Racing is being brought to you by BF Goodrich, the official tire sponsor of the Baja Desert Championship, and by Monster Energy. The race leaders are headed into Ojos Negros as this 52nd Score Baja 1000 gets underway. Leader Ryan Arciero bursts out of the gate to extend the distance from the rest of the pack. And with Bryce Menzies already hunting down his position, it's no surprise. Shaking things up early in the race is Alan Ampudia. Alan is wasting no time as he has already passed Justin Lofton to take the 4th position on course. Justin falls back to 5th, but is staying close behind him. We are back at the start line where the other classes will begin making their way out onto the course. Leading Class 1 off the line is reigning class champion Brad Wilson, followed by Mason Cullen in second. Sarah Price opens the race in front of the trophy truck spec class. Charles Dorrance follows behind her in second. For Class 2, Darren Skilton opens in first, with Johnny Campbell opening the race for 2069 in the all-new Ford Bronco in second. One of Baja's greatest ambassadors and greatest competitors, Cameron Steele has built a legacy on the peninsula that few in the sport can match. He gave that legacy an exclamation point in 2018 when he drove the number 16 Desert Assassins trophy truck to victory in the 51st Baja 1000. An emotional moment at the finish captured the decades of struggle and love for the place that have made Cameron one of the faces of desert racing.
I've been racing here in Baja since 1985. It's just surreal, you know? I mean, the emotion is there. It's hard to explain what it means.
Now he's back to defend the title that means so much to him. It's a safe bet that Cameron Steele will put it all on the line to return to the podium in 2019. Leader Ryan Arciero is still bearing down on his throttle as Bryce Menzies inches closer to him. Currently in danger of losing the 3rd position on course is Tavo Vildosova. He is doing everything in his power to stop Alan Ampudia from passing. Tavo manages to create some space between them, and it looks like his position is secure for now. Alan has pulled back and is playing it safe in these narrow roads, but you can count on the Ampudias to not give up. Alan will undoubtedly try again the first chance he gets. Ricky Johnson is closing in on Justin Lofton, aiming for that 5th position. knocking on the door once again, ready to make a run at his position. Justin Lofton has fallen back a couple of spots. Jumping on his position are Ricky Johnson and BJ Baldwin. Currently fighting for the 15th position are Mikey Lawrence and Toby Price. Toby started 23rd off the line and is moving up quickly. Brad Wilson is powering through in the lead of Class 1, but the rest of the class are moving fast on each other and closing the gaps. Knowing the conditions of the course, they want to take advantage of the daylight and visibility. Behind the Class 1 cars and leading the pack of the trophy truck Specs is Sarah Price, who plans on running the entire race on her own and earning the Iron Woman title. Behind her, Charles Dorrance and A.J. Jones are both making a run for the lead early on. Years ago, desert racing pioneer Rod Hall drove a Ford Bronco to overall victory in the 1969 Baja 1000. Now, half a century later, Rod's granddaughter Shelby Hall will be one of the drivers in a newly redesigned Bronco R that Ford will unleash on one of the toughest courses on the planet.
I'm super pumped to be racing the Bronco R. I love that Ford is back here with a manufacturer-supported team, and I am so excited to be a part of it.
Shelby will join drivers like reigning Baja 1000 champion Cameron Steele and motorcycle legend Johnny Campbell on a team ready to test the ingenuity and engineering of Ford against this harsh but beautiful landscape. Still leading Class 2 is Darren Skilton. Johnny Campbell is putting the pressure behind him in second and staying close. Making an early push and making it work is Cody Reed, who has quickly taken the first position from Hiram Duran in Class 10. Hiram is battling right behind him to take back the lead. Another leader change is in the Pro UTV forced induction class, as Mark Burnett has overtaken Wes Miller. Miller stays in second, with Wayne Matlock now in third after a quick climb from a start in the 5th position. Still in the hunt for the lead is Bryce Menzies. Ryan Arciero has managed to keep him at bay as the trophy trucks reach the coast. Bryce will continue to fight for the spot, knowing the rest of the pack is closing in on them as the sun fades in the west. Got around Tavo after getting an opportunity to pass him. Tavo now waits for his chance to get it back. Motorcycles were out on the course early this morning, and conditions have not been easy for the two-wheeled racers. Those who have persevered so far in this Score Baja 1000 are still battling the elements and each other, still giving it everything they've got to come out on top of their class. Leading the Pro Moto Unlimited class is the 1X team. Leading the Pro Moto 30 is Ensenada local Francisco Septia. In front of the limited class is the 100X team of Santiago Creel. Keeping busy in the Sportsman Moto class is Jason Ham in 232X. Flying down the coast is Ryan Arciero in front of the trophy trucks. But it's Bryce Menzies in second who's looking to make a big move on the lead. The course on the coast can be narrow, so Bryce is looking for his opportunity to strike. Right behind them is Tavo Vildosova, who managed to finally get around Alan Empudia and regain his position. Now he is using that momentum to take a shot at the lead spot. Alan Empudia is not going down easy. Now in the 4th position, he races after Tavo. Ricky Johnson is in the 5th spot, having a solid race, staying within striking distance of the leaders. When Sarah Price stepped into a Spec class trophy truck in 2018, she quickly became one of the most popular drivers in the Score Desert Series. It didn't take her long to become one of the best. When she's not performing as a stunt woman for movies and TV, Sarah is piloting Trophy Truck 204 and landing on the podium in race after race. After starting 2019 with 3 straight second-place finishes, Sarah heads into the Baja 1000 with a great chance to take home the season points championship in the Spec class. With the kind of talent she displays and the world-class RPM race team backing her up, Sarah's future is bright, and it may just start today. The rest of the classes have reached the coast. Brad Wilson has led Class 1 since the start, and his team is fighting hard to maintain the lead. Moving up to second is John Courier after a start in the 9th position. Losing the 3rd position and possibly more is Shelby Reed. Her car has gotten stuck, and as they often do, the locals are attempting to help her out. Taking advantage and grabbing her position is Reese Millen, who started in 12th. Taking over the lead position for the Trophy Truck Spec class is A.J. Jones. The son of veteran Jesse Jones managed to get around Sarah Price, who is not letting up after losing her grip on the lead. Charles Dorrance continues to run with the leaders in the 3rd position. Burnett is still ahead of the Pro UTV forced induction class, but he is quickly losing ground to Wes Miller and his Polaris Razor in 2nd. Craig Scanlon is on their heels in 3rd place, but it's Justin Lambert in the 4th position who's been taking down positions from the start of the race and is closing in on the leaders. Bryce's resilience pays off as he manages to slip past Ryan on the course. The 31 truck now owns the lead of the trophies as they head inland toward Mike's Sky Ranch. With the sunset approaching, they'll soon have to depend on running lights to navigate their way. Alan Ampudia did not give up his pursuit of Tavo and took the 3rd position from him. The trophy trucks have chewed up a lot of miles on the Baja course, but they're about to tackle a whole new set of challenges. Visibility is critical to a driver making split-second decisions at full speed. But once the sun sets, that visibility is reduced to the reach of their headlights. Bryce Menzies in the McMillan 31 truck runs with his new position as first on course. He's pushing through the brush, trying to expand his advantage before full darkness. Alan Ampudia might feel comfortable in his own backyard, but he knows there are hazards around every corner, and he's got to stay on his game if he's going to make up the ground he needs to win this. As darkness settles in, Luke McMillan makes his move and slips into 3rd position. And Mike Walzer surprises some people when he grabs a position in the top 4, with Rob McCachran breathing down his neck. At this point, it's still anybody's race. The other classes also push north as the course tracks along the Sea of Cortez. A.J. Jones sets the pace in the Trophy Truck Spec class. Jeff Bader is closing in on Sarah Price in 2nd. In Class 1, Baja has taken its toll, as all but 3 of the cars have been sidelined. In the field remaining, Brendan Gaughan is in front. Mason Cullen has him in his sights, but Brandon Bailey isn't giving up without a fight. Chase Warren has moved into the lead in Class 10, but Hiram Duran in 1016 and Jeremy Davis in 1085 are on his tail. And pro UTVs are grinding it out. Wayne Matlock, now in front, is turning in a flawless performance, but Justin Lambert may just have the edge on time. Not far back, a mechanical issue with car 1229 could pose a hazard on a tight, pitch-dark course. As the co-driver scrambles to change the wheel, a rival whips by, and the need to hurry becomes clear. But skill and training make short work of the repair, and the car is quickly back on track. Super teams have become a fixture of Baja racing, with big-name drivers joining forces as a tactic to overpower the competition. Like Andy McMillan today welcoming Bryce Menzies into the 31 truck as he chases the SCORE Season Points Championship. When Baja veteran Jesse Jones broke his foot in the run-up to this year's Baja 1000, he looked for a pair of international superstars to step into the empty driver's seat. Australian motorcycle pro Toby Price and Qatari rally driver Nasser Al-Attiyah will share time behind the wheel of the 76 truck as it takes on the Baja 1000 course.
This was my dream long time, to race Baja 1000.
You got to expect the unexpected from Mexico, really. That's just what Baja is, and it's kind of makes you feel like you're living a little bit.
The trophy trucks continue to blast their way through the desert night. Bryce Menzies at the wheel of the 31 truck is pushing to get where Andy McMillan waits anxiously for his turn in the driver's seat. Both drivers know that anything can happen out there, and the Baja 1000 crown and 2019 points championship hang in the balance.
Bryce is doing really well so far today. No major issues, and I think he's still first truck on the road. So hopefully he stays like that and brings it to me first. And we're just going to do what we do and go out there and run our pace, run our race, and hope everything works out at the end.
Once the truck arrives, the well-trained pit crew will jump into action.
So for the pit, we're going to change all 4 tires here. This is the only time we're going to do all 4 because we're all-wheel drive. So we're going to change the front tires first, do the driver change the rear tires full of fuel, and take off, hopefully around 45 seconds.
But as the minutes tick by, it's clear that things are not going to plan. Mechanical issues have cropped up in the field. A brake caliper has failed and will have to be replaced, along with the rotor when the truck arrives. Bryce brings the 31 truck into the pit, and the crew swarms. The tires are changed with split-second precision. Fuel is dumped into the tank. But as the team scrambles, the number 10 truck charges past the pit. And Andy now knows that once he gets back on course, he'll have to make up some ground. The crew has changed out all the tires, but there is still the rotor and caliper swap to complete. The operation eats up precious seconds. The 76 truck roars by, and Andy can feel the race slipping away from him. Finally, the jacks are lowered. Andy punches the accelerator. And the fight is on.
So we just came into our main pit where Andy got in the truck, and he's going right now. So he's making up time, pushing hard. We got to stay focused on getting Andy to the finish, and anything we can do possible to help that, we're going to do that, stay up all night, and make sure that's possible.
The 31 truck is launched back into a furious last-ditch effort. The finish line is only miles away, and the drivers know that the moves they make right now could determine how they finish this race. Alan Ampudia maintains the lead on course that he grabbed while Andy McMillan's crew hustled to replace brake parts. Nasser Al-Attiyah pursues in the 76 truck, almost outdriving his headlights. Luke McMillan is looking to move up further. The rest of the trucks follow, headlights cutting through the darkness. Mike Walzer in 89. Rob McCachran, chasing his 4th Baja 1000 title in 5 years. And first off the line, Ryan Arciero needs to regain the lead if he's to have any chance of taking the win. Everything is on the line now, and it will all shake out in this final stretch to Ensenada. Score Desert Racing is being brought to you by BF Goodrich, the official tire sponsor of the Baja Desert Championship, and by Monster Energy. After battling a storm-ravaged Baja landscape for over 15 hours, the first racers are finally closing in on the finish line in Ensenada well before sunrise.
They're all pretty close together, so we'll see how they come across the line here shortly. Stick around as the trophy trucks are making their way in here.
Aaron Ampudia nervously waits to see if the mudcake truck he handed off to his brother can round the far corner ahead of its rivals. Truck approaches the line, there is just enough pink showing beneath the mud to reveal that it's the number 10 truck with Alan Ampudia at the wheel. Relief and joy for the team and for the Ampudia family as they celebrate in their hometown of Ensenada their first trophy truck win in the Score Baja 1000.
It feels amazing. It was a really long day. Had a couple of issues, but overall it was a pretty clean race. It was super tough course, and it feels amazing to be from Ensenada and win the legendary Baja 1000 with my brothers.
Oh man, I encountered just about everything. It was so muddy the first section, as you can tell by the truck. I'd be on straightaways, spin out, completely hydroplane. So gnarly. I couldn't see at points, just like cars sideways, and just so many different elements that we've never really encountered for so long, and it was just amazing to come out on top, and like he said, to be able to share it with our family. It's amazing, and obviously in our hometown of Ensenada.
Feels unreal. I mean, I've dreamt about this. My brothers dreamt about this when we were little kids. We've been coming to the races. My dad started racing in '84, so it's been a dream come true. It's a dream come true.
Unofficially second place here in the BF Goodrich Score Baja 1000.
After a gritty performance, Qatar's favorite son, Nasser Al-Attiyah, brings home the 76 truck in second place, just 25 seconds ahead of Luke McMillan, who takes third. As Nasser and his Australian teammate Toby Price savor the experience of conquering Baja, Mike Walzer rolls across the finish line behind them, claiming fourth place in the 89 truck after starting the race in 11th off the line. For most racers, a fifth place finish in the Baja 1000 would prove they belonged among the best in the world. But after a career that includes a recent string of 3 straight Score Baja 1000 wins, Rob McCachran has nothing left to prove to anyone. When the trophy truck specs show up, Jesse Jones has more to celebrate as his son, AJ Jones, guides the 279 truck to the class victory in the moments before dawn. Sarah Price follows after sunup, and her second place finish earns her just enough points to edge AJ for the 2019 Season Points Championship. Jeff Bader in 261 rolls across in third. The Class 10s are next, with Chase Warren taking the checkered flag.
Take a thumbs up, guys. There you go. One more. Awesome, thank you.
Eliseo Garcia earns runner-up position. And Jeremy Davis at the wheel of the 1085 car fills out the top three. Brendan Gaughan's 162 car sets the pace in Class 1.
Good job, brother.
Dude.
Good job.
We won.
That's like
With Brandon Bailey on his heels in number 129. But Mason Cullen's third place finish is enough to secure him the season points championship in Class 1. Justin Lambert in his Polaris Razor takes the top honors in the Pro UTV forced induction class. With Wayne Matlock and Matt Burrows grabbing second and third. Minutes later, Wayne's wife, Kristen Matlock, wins the naturally aspirated Pro UTV class.
Tell me a little bit about this course. How'd you guys
There's more to celebrate for the Matlock family, as Wayne's second place finish in the Score Baja 1000 clinches the season points championship for the 2971 car. With their victory, Alan Ampudia and his brother become just the third team of Mexican nationals to win the Baja 1000. Justin Morgan pilots the 1X bike to a clean sweep for 2019, winning all 4 races in the Pro Moto Unlimited class. And AJ Jones closes out the year the way he started it, on the victory stand. Francisco Septian turns in an impressive performance, cruising to a win in the Pro Moto 30 class. And in the Pro Moto Limited, Santiago Creel's victory clinches his 2019 Class Season Points Championship. Chase Warren is the first of the buggies to cross the line, taking the Class 10 victory. Brendan Gaughan in the 162 car takes the win in Class 1. And Justin Lambert closes out the year with a well-earned victory in the Pro UTV forced induction class. Congratulations to Andy McMillan, whose 13th place finish is enough to secure him the 2019 Points Championship in trophy trucks. Join us next season when the top racers on the planet come together once again to challenge the toughest terrain in off-road racing in the Score Desert Championship.